This is supposed to be with the Charlamagne segment, but Bray Idiots. Charlamagne responds to Poetic Flacco. The video that Poetic Flacco did, where it was Poetic Flacco was pretty much laid out a premise or a theory that Charlamagne the God is the reason that Everyday Struggle was brought to its. He tore it down from the outside with like manipulation tactics and things of that nature, playing DJ Akademiks against Joe Budden and vice versa. So that was the video that Flacco laid out.
Yeah, that's the content.
How Charlamagne the God destroyed DJ Akademiks' Joe Budden hit show. That was the premise of the video. Flacco actually responded to it. You have to go to the Bray Idiots. Yeah, go to the Bray Idiots audio actually, not the YouTube. Because I don't know where it's at in the YouTube version.
Yeah, I forgot that the links be different.
Actually, go to the Bray Idiots. We might be able to scroll and find it.
Okay.
Actually, nah, it's already there. Yeah, just go to it's already right there. It was at 32:13. That should be the last episode, honestly. Ram something, right?
Yeah. Rum topper.
Yeah.
32 what?
13.
Yeah. 32:13.
This is 32:16, so it's roughly that.
When you realize,
the narratives
people just making up
spin,
shit.
I know.
Like they literally just making up shit. Somebody sent me one about me 2 days ago.
I know.
I love. I mean, but they make it up only because they're monetizing. This is what you do.
Go back like
watch
2.
stuff about yourself.
Yeah, referenced it as if it was real. So we got fucking caught.
Because you sit back and laugh
What's
at
it
people.
called? Bar Wars or something like that. Bar Wars.
I do think those have the shit that kind of do, or they say about kind of he just looks like. I wasn't even thinking about that, but let's go with
I mean,
that.
that's
sure.
That's what a liberal arts degree is at any school. It's just reading books and adding
funny
meaning.
though. It's clever. I think the certain stuff they make up.
Yeah.
I mean, but they make it up only because they're monetizing. This is what you do. Watch stuff about yourself. That's when you realize.
The narratives
people
of
just
people
making up
spin,
shit.
Bro, I know.
Like they literally just making up shit. Somebody sent me one about me 2 days ago. I loved it though.
What was it?
I like because
Why you say it like
no, you
that?
know why? I like the ones that make me look like some.
He's like an evil genius.
I know.
Exactly. You make me look like some evil genius, diabolical mastermind. And all these people are my puppets. And I'm just making them do my bidding, and I'm making them move this way and move that way just to destroy them and their platform. Oh, I love shit like that. I literally saw it, somebody sent it to me, and I was just like, I didn't watch it, but I just saw the headline, and I was like, they give me too much credit.
Yeah.
They just do.
Yeah.
They just do. But hey, if you want to make me out to be Magneto, cool.
You'll take it.
I'll take it. Why the fuck not? It's fun.
Yeah.
What else we got, Taylor? What else happened last week? What did we miss?
That's all right.
Yeah.
I think he watched it for sure.
Well, I mean, it's clear he lied.
Yeah.
Yeah, he most definitely watched.
It's clear he lied because he gave us the breakdown of what Poetic Flacco's video was, and then tried to cover it and say, "I didn't watch it. I just picked that up off the headline." No. You watched it. You watched the whole thing. Charlamagne be watching himself. Because why else would you even bring up watch things about yourself and then say I only read the headline? That don't make no damn sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
So the fact that he lied about it, do you think that means it's true?
That what is true?
That he really did compare?
Nah, those things aren't mutually exclusive. You can lie about watching a whole video about you and have that whole video still not be true.
and him lying about not watching it is more so him not wanting to give Flacco free clout.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's exactly what I thought. Like I think he watched it, but I don't think he's trying to market it.
Yeah,
it's too late. He gave us the synopsis of the video.
Yeah, but people who don't know Flacco don't know.
he's done that
But
before.
I mean,
numerous
and
times.
honestly, you could have gotten that from the title. Like he kind of did just say the title: "How Charlamagne the God Destroyed DJ Akademiks and Joe Budden Hit Show."
But at the same time,
It's pretty
I don't think,
context clues.
No, nigga.
why would Charlamagne like these niggas rivaling our Breakfast Club show? Like, why would he?
That's a yeah. We never even talked about the validity of what Flacco was saying,
Right. We didn't talk about this video.
and it's probably because it just wasn't true.
Flacco was making a hell of a case though.
That nigga
I
was
didn't think
reaching
it was that
for the
crazy.
stars.
You thought so?
Yeah, no, he was reaching for the stars. He was reaching for the stars.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like that much of a reach, honestly.
It was.
You
But
don't think that's crazy for
that has to be
Charlamagne?
his take.
You don't think
It
that's
has to be your take.
No, it doesn't.
You don't think that's crazy? That's ironic. But you don't think that's crazy that Charlamagne the God would potentially waste time out of his day to just destroy another nigga show?
That's
Yes.
actually likely.
Based off Flacco's premise, Flacco says that Charlamagne felt threatened by the success of Everyday Struggle, like it would take out the Breakfast Club, and he had to get rid of that shit.
Charlamagne the God cares. Let's start there.
No.
He cares.
But
a lot
yeah, but
about things that he shouldn't care about.
but academics
True.
around that time.
So let's start.
We can start there.
Let's start there.
We
but
can
what does
start
that have
there.
to do with anything?
Because I'm gonna tell
And that's
you,
why we're starting there, because it don't go nowhere.
it does go somewhere. He cares too much about a lot of things that don't actually matter. A hit show, when Everyday Struggle was out, that was a show that was rivaling, and it's like it was soon to be. It all of a sudden, The Breakfast Club was the best.
Soon to be.
Soon to be. The Breakfast. What? I don't even know what you. The Breakfast Club was like the hip hop show, and then like the fucking Everyday Struggle was like all of a sudden the #1 hip hop show. That was back when niggas were pretty. That was Angela Yee. That was when niggas was bragging about every year we've been #1 for the last 7 years. Like shit, niggas were competitive as fuck back then.
Yeah.
I don't think like they were competitive back then, bro.
Especially with other radio stations.
Exactly.
This is it's not like they're competing for an audience at a certain time. That's different. Hot 97 in the Breakfast Club, that's a different type of rivalry because you are either listening to us or listening to them.
Exactly.
I could wake up in the morning, drive to work, listen to the Breakfast Club. Then it's 7 o'clock, I'm at the crib on my phone watching Everyday Struggle.
Exactly.
So just because it wasn't a radio show doesn't mean they weren't.
What is the real threat?
I'm saying
What's the threat?
there's no
The
real
threat is
personal
not
gain.
being
Plus-
#1.
Plus,
The threat is not being #1 by people anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the threat.
Everyday Struggle
It doesn't
wasn't
matter.
sustainable.
It doesn't matter where the medium is at, bro.
Everyday Struggle wasn't sustainable. And it wasn't a threat. First of all,
first
we
of all,
never
don't-
went to Everyday Struggle for breaking news.
Yes, we did.
We went for their opinions on the news. We didn't wait for them to like give the information out. Everyday Struggle got lit because niggas was arguing.
We don't go to Breakfast Club for breaking news. Breaking news happens where breaking news happens nowadays.
Breaking news happens when breaking news happens, but
Like-
they,
but we
also go-
treat, they
like-
treat
like-
these
like-
topics in different ways.
Like if there's a mass shooter at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the Breakfast Club missed that break. You know what I'm
We
saying?
go,
Like,
but the reason
so like we're not.
the reason people were
breaking
tuning
news
in.
shit, that don't mean nothing.
The reason people were tuning into
The
the
reason-
Breakfast Club, was a variety of different reasons. It wasn't just because of one thing. So even saying like their rivalries, it's kind of disrespecting all the work that they did beforehand at the Breakfast Club. Like it was a big show, but it's nothing that Charlamagne of all people
Should have been worried about.
He was not focusing on that. He was not focusing on, especially because around that time, I'm pretty sure AK was trying to kiss his ass even more. So it's like, nigga, the quote unquote biggest show. One of the hosts wants to kiss my ass. He wants to be my understudy. So why would he have to even want to destroy the show?
And even if he did, like, let's go with that. Let's say Charlamagne's evil. He wants to destroy Everyday Struggle. It was a threat. Why would he even have to touch it? It was going to destroy itself.
Especially,
You don't know that.
No.
It was going
No.
to destroy
And
itself.
that's
First of
good.
all, Joe Budden has said numerous times that it was Complex was a print company that was venturing into video, and they didn't really know how to handle that shit. There wasn't sponsors in between the shit. There wasn't like, yo, he got a Prime right there because Prime is paying us $500,000 an episode. They didn't know how to facilitate it. And it was also, when you think about all the moments, all the reasons you watch Everyday Struggle, it's because niggas was arguing. It's because he was disrespecting act.
You don't
It's
think that?
literally it. It
no,
wasn't-
granted, that's not a good reason, but I get what you're saying, but that's not a good point. But it's still,
that's not
it's actually-
sustainable.
it's actually a terrible
That is,
point, but
it's only
continue.
so many times to
Well-
where like we can have a dynamic of where it's funny because y'all
Why do you
don't
keep
like each other.
You keep talking about the sustainability or something. So what about the part? What about the part in Flacco's video where he laid out that the whole deal part going over to Revolt, and that Charlamagne.
Oh, that's another. Oh, you can keep going on what you're saying, but doesn't. Yeah, my fault. It just made me think of something else.
Go ahead.
Well, why would I try to destroy your show and then get y'all two paid at my company? Why would I bring y'all closer to me if y'all competition?
To control more of it.
Because now I'll be an executive producer.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was the whole, that was the argument he laid out. If you're
To
gonna
be
be,
an executive producer.
you think what do you? I don't want you to, if you're gonna be super successful and have a hit hit show called Everyday Struggle, if I could bring y'all over here and be executive producer of it over here on Revolt, why not? If you can't beat them, join them. Attach yourself to it. Logically, that makes sense. It's
If
like
you
when
can't beat them, join them.
well, not if you if you can't beat them, join them or own them or get a piece of it.
I don't think
That's what record labels do every day.
That's
That's how you destroy your show.
That's business
think-
101.
That's
No,
how you
but
destroy your show.
I don't think
that's not how you destroy. If I can't destroy
The title
it,
of the video was destroyed.
oh my God, bro, you sound disgusting right now, bro. Just open your fucking mind to both sides, bro.
Oh,
like
man, he's getting
like, God damn, like, it's like
You always do
it's
this.
crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't
Really, just take a deep breath. Just relax.
Both
Just
y'all
relax.
take a
You don't
deep
have to
breath.
get emotional.
I don't think we're losing some stands in the argument or in the discussion.
Because let's start
Because
with because I
the
can start.
whole
I can
point-
remind what everybody started at the beginning. You said this was a Hail Mary completely. That this is completely ridiculous. That this whole video was a reach. That's what you said about Poetic Flocko's
Yeah,
videos.
yeah.
You said I don't know, but he did lay a hell of a case down.
He did.
That's what you said?
That
did
is what
say
he
that.
said.
Yeah, he said
And
that.
what I said was, shit, I don't know. It could go either way in my mind. Because if I can't, if I was to believe this theory, this could go either way. One, Charlamagne could be so busy, blase blah, that why would I waste time? But we all did agree at that time their competitive nature was through the fucking roof as well.
Charlamagne-
So it's not ridiculous. And if I can't get y'all to separate, because your whole thing of it was gonna destroy itself, it's literally it's a silly argument. It's
Silly.
actually crazy.
Hold on.
Because you can't just that's like
I mean, that's not the only point,
That's
but-
crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like
it would
like,
be-
so
hold on,
this,
let me
this-
talk, let me
talk.
this business is guaranteed to fail
It's not-
anyway. Like
That's what that was the running joke. He kept calling that shit. They got 6 months left because Joe Budden involved.
Well, that's also sowing
Another
seeds
thing.
of chaos.
And
though.
another thing.
yes,
But where is the
that is
That's
chaos?
sowing seeds of chaos.
That
But
is-
where's the chaos coming from?
But I'm saying that's
Joe
like there
Budden wasn't
are.
happy?
Hold on, I just want to say there are a lot of cases of Charlamagne sowing seeds of chaos.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
he
Like
definitely instigates.
calling Axe saying he should quit, all that type of stuff. If that's valid, then that's also something there. This is also the time that
Right.
Joe Budden and Charlamagne really started hyping up their beef, and they started not liking each other after this. 'Cause
Right.
this is the time Charlamagne started saying things about Joe Budden and his business tactics while Joe was trying to get a deal done elsewhere with like Spotify too. You know what I'm saying? So like,
But-
there's a lot of signs of him kind of sowing seeds of chaos. Is all I want to say.
Also,
I think he definitely instigated, but I don't think it was his intentions to facilitate this going away.
Maybe not.
Because Everyday
Maybe
Struggle
not.
and the Breakfast Club can
Well, he-
survive at the same time.
well, he wanted a piece
They
of
can
it.
survive at the same time. And even in the video, Flocko was like, yo, why would he tell Akademiks that this isn't a good situation for him? And then Joe Budden quit a couple weeks later. So if it wasn't good for Joe Budden, why would it be good for Akademiks?
and I don't think there's
And don't
there's,
get go ahead, my friend.
there's not a single world where Joe works under Charlamagne.
That's a whole fact.
So it's like, if it was gonna end, it was just gonna end. Like nobody's gonna work for anybody. I don't even think DJ Akademiks work for Charlamagne, and he respects him. Like niggas had their own motion to the point where, like nobody really needed anybody. It was just good for everybody to work together. But this is a reach. I don't know about this. I don't think Charlamagne.
You said he brought a hell of a case.
I think he was too busy writing a book or something. Charlamagne be busy, man. Like this.
I don't think it might have been like an intentional plan, but I think he did have a
Yeah,
eye on
sometimes and sometimes things can.
this ending. Like I think he really didn't want it to. He said he wanted it to end, and he would end in 6 months. And I think part of that is like
He predicted it within 6
he
months.
predicted it, but I think part of that is like I don't really want this shit
He
around.
did the same thing to the Joe Budden podcast when he went over there.
It's probably look. It's one of those
He
things.
did the same thing when he went to the Joe Budden podcast when he said, Drew's going to ruin. He went to their podcast and he told Roy and Ma he's going to ruin this. He ruins everything. He did the same thing.
I just find it amazing how on the show to where it was obvious that Joe Budden was like trying to sabotage this shit, that Charlamagne still ends up getting blamed somehow.
What? Okay, well, that's the part that's confusing because if somebody, you're telling me that Joe Budden was purposely sabotaging Everyday Struggle. Is that what you're saying?
That's
Not
what he said.
purposely
That's what he
sabotaging
said.
Everyday
That's
Struggle, but
that's what you're saying.
not purposely sabotaging it, but he's doing things that aren't in the best interest of continuing the show. Like quitting.
What?
No, you
Like
can't use
quitting.
that. That's
Yeah,
the
you're-
end. Yeah, that's the end of the. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Okay, so
What was
Joe
he doing
Budden.
in the
So
show?
I'm Joe Budden. I create a show called Everyday Struggle. We get DJ Akademiks. The nature of the show.
I didn't feel like I was getting what I was worth.
Well, let me finish. Because you're speaking of his nature of purposely destroying a business. That's what you're speaking on right now. You're saying that he created a show, pitched at the complex, they got a green lit, DJ Akademiks. The show is the more successful than it's ever, one of the most successful shows, and people are quickly calling it a successful show in hip hop.
And the two hosts weren't happy.
And you're telling me
the two main hosts weren't happy.
I'm not done. And you also telling me that consciously at the same time that they were getting the best show in the world, this is the best show in the world, he's like, goddamn right, I'm about to bring this bitch burning down. That's what you're telling me that's what he thought.
Yeah. I think neither one of them niggas was happy in the situation. Ak was early on in his career to where it was like, this is an opportunity that he doesn't want to feel like he fucked up. But he's still getting caught up into it because he was so willing to make that shit work post Joe. But nah, I don't think it's crazy that Charlamagne told Akademiks to quit a place that his co-host quit a couple weeks later.
He told him to quit multiple times.
Yeah,
it was also before Joe quit. It wasn't a couple.
And
But
weeks.
Joe still quit.
How long has Charlamagne and Joe known each other? Has I
Forever. Like they talk about going bowling in like South Carolina and shit like that.
can we say they were in bad terms during this time?
Joe
They probably weren't speaking right.
Joe said that they were cool up until the point that Charlamagne. Joe feels like him and Charlamagne were cool up until the point that he got his podcast blew up, pretty much.
So basically,
shit
Joe
like that. I don't
always
fucking- bro, I don't
had
even
a
know, bro.
secret. Joe
Joe
Budden's a crazy
is
motherfucker.
saying that Charlamagne had. It was cool being around you when what you were doing in my lane, you weren't as big as me or bigger. But once I became just as big as you in this hip hop commentary space, all of a sudden I'm a problem.
I don't know if I believe that, especially
I'm just telling you what Joe said.
Especially
Yeah.
knowing the history with Joe, that sounds a little like far fetched. Like, like nigga Joe has a history of just fucking up relationships because of his ego. So that could be him. But I don't know. I feel like y'all niggas was just y'all getting to a point where it's just not gonna go anywhere.
Oh yeah, nah, it's not.
Like
well,
why?
Well, I just
because I'm on the side that I think it's just far fetched.
It's just far.
Look, Flacco, if you're watching this, a great video, by the way.
Yeah,
but
and this is a great video.
It was a good video.
I'm just confused.
The editing.
I've been consistent. I could go on
Yeah.
either side. I don't think it's far fetched on either side.
Well,
I
You
genuinely
didn't say that until just now.
I
That
could
is
go
true.
either way,
You didn't say that until just now, though.
but I can go either way.
and he's saying it now. It's fine.
I'm saying it now.
Yeah,
but
I'm saying it now.
But
But what did I say in the beginning? I said
you
it could
sided
go
with
either.
Flacco.
No, I didn't side with Flacco. I said it could go either
We
way.
said it was far fetched, and you said I don't think it is.
it's semantics.
Yeah, I don't.
they-
Yeah,
but-
I didn't fully agree, but it could both sides could be true. Not both sides could be true. It could be either one.
I don't think.
I think he definitely instigated, but this is not like a grandmaster manipulation tactic so I can secretly EP your show.
Yeah, I don't think it
And
was
even
that.
on the Brilliant Idiots, he said that like he wouldn't get paid for EPing that shit.
Then why would you want the executive production? What does that even mean? Doesn't production means you put money behind it?
No,
sometimes. What
is
producer.
executive producer is
It's
An EP
actually
is an executive producer, not
Yeah.
production.
executive producer
You
is
just
the
stamped
only
it.
way you
Yeah.
get paid.
So when
Drake is executively
when
producing.
niggas, I don't
That's
know.
just attaching
When
your
he
name
said-
to
when
it.
he
It's a
said that-
cosign, essentially.
it's
when
a
he said-
It's you know how
It's a glorified
you know the
position.
term.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
You know the term.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
You wouldn't mind what?
What?
Even if I didn't get paid for it, having my name attached to it.
Yeah, of course. Because
Because it's like I
But
put
what
that
does that
together.
do?
Because
Nobody's listening for the credits.
It's part of your resume.
Yeah, it's like I put that together.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
part of your resume.
Yeah.
Which in turn could raise how much your value is.
And you see, that's when it just comes down to perspective
So
on how
even-
you
so-
view the nigga that we talking about. Because we could have easily said
No,
that.
no,
we
no,
could have
no,
easily.
no.
We could have. Well, let me get it
No.
off first
Go
before you
ahead.
disagree. We could have easily said that Charlamagne saw another show that was doing this thing. He wanted to look out. You know, Charlamagne got a history of looking out. He wanted to get them boys paid some wells. We could have said that.
That's what you were
It's
saying.
the same. It's the same movement. It's the same. Like I'm doing this for this, but we're attaching intentions on it based off how we view the nigga. If you see the nigga as an evil manipulator,
Then you
that's how you
attach
gonna
this.
see it.
Yep.
If you see him as Magic Johnson, who out here
Yep.
throwing lives in the system,
Then you see it that
that's
way.
how you gonna see it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen both sides of them.
You skewing one way though. You only arguing one.
No, well, I'm
You're
asking.
only arguing one.
I'm asking you to argue your side because you said one is far fetched and the other, so which means it's only on one side.
I feel like I've argued it. I feel like I've said
I'm saying
everything.
it could go either way.
I think
And
he instigated.
and Justin says he laid a hell of a case, which means it could go either way too. Like
look, nigga, I don't remember
you keep saying that. Like, when the fuck did
this
that
whole
happen?
time I've been like,
Well,
hey,
no,
nigga, this shit look fake.
at the beginning, you did say he laid a hell of a case. You said that, and then he followed up with saying
Laying
that
hell of a
Just like
case-
how I said,
laying hell
hey,
of a-
Flacco, this is a good video.
But at the same time, AJ, you were currently on one side throughout the rest of this
You
before
on
you
one
you
side,
came
and you
out and
argue
said
one-
that
my fault, Lauren.
before you came out and said that it can both sides. That was later
I'm on the
in
laying a
fact.
hell of a case side. Laying a hell of a case means I feel like when you said that, that's how I felt, which meant in my mind that meant you can go either
When
way.
I said that, I meant this is a good video. Meaning, like, this is gonna start the discourse that it just happened, like what just happened. He made a hell of a case.
The only thing that I think is
But that's-
egregious
it's-
is
like
total.
prosecutors make a hell of a case all the
Yeah,
time, and they
yeah.
still fucking lose.
Yeah.
So it like
That's
you
your
can
job.
make a hell of a.
That's
It's
true.
literally your
You
job.
can lose
And
your
what you about to
case.
say, Lauren?
I said I think you were pretty egregious with saying that they didn't enjoy each other or that they were because they were bickering on the show. Like I think they both enjoyed that. You know what I'm saying? Akademiks and Joe because they like to debate, and I don't think they hated each other because of that. They actually loved each other on the show. I think Joe just didn't like the company and what they were doing when he saw the bread. So
Yeah,
he
that's
dipped
the
out.
part that
So
really
that's all
threw
that
me off.
was.
And I even listened back because I thought we was gonna talk about this video on I think last episode.
last week.
So I went back and listened to
I just
when
didn't have a reason to
Academics
put it
went
in.
on Brilliant Idiots that one time. I forgot what the
Yeah.
name of the episode was, but that podcast episode, Academics felt like a battered victim.
He's getting it from the guests
You get
too.
what I'm
That's
saying?
why.
Like,
It's like the guests were giving it to him too.
and we gotta remember
I
the
saw-
times. It was a running theme that like Academics can't get his shit off in front of Joe. That used to be a real narrative.
That's true.
I saw
That like Joe was just gonna overtalk you. That was a running joke that we could have said. If we were doing this show back then, it's no telling what we would have said about that.
That's true.
We would have had moments of the show where it's like, yo, let's see Academics try to fucking say his take. That's obviously annoying. In any workspace, it don't even matter if you podcasting. Like if we just fucking at McDonald's and this nigga's always talking.
It was still a hit show though.
But it wasn't.
It might not have been a
It
perfect-
wasn't a
it
hit
might not have
show
been- it
for
might not
the
have-
reasons that the Breakfast Club was a hit show. Which is why I think the Breakfast Club had a little bit more sustainability. And why I don't think
Yeah,
that should have
but-
been worried about a show that got hot 6 months ago.
I also
But
think
to
you're
me,
putting.
sustainability has nothing to do with
And
it. Like,
I think you're taking a small part of what the show was and making it bigger. Like, yeah, they used to
Yeah.
argue and like bitter. That's like a nigga
a
saying
hit show
like,
was
yeah,
a hit
for
show
sure.
was
Okay, all right,
a
let me
hit
take
show
it
was a
further.
hit show
Let me-
because like this the part that like I was trying to be with you, but like the part that like really kind of confused me was when you were like, yeah, the nigga didn't like the show. It's like you made it seem like the shit that they came to 4 days a week they didn't give a fuck about anyway. It was
No, nobody
obvious-
said that they didn't care.
Yeah, but you were making it seem like nigga they were throwing that shit away anyway. Like
That's not what I said. I said that they weren't happy with the situation.
they
Neither
were
one of
happy
them.
with the show.
the show, but the situation.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the situation. We're talking about the
talking
show.
about everything. This
we're
show-
talking
this-
about
the show
we're
is a
we're
situation.
We're talking about the hit show, and then in
the
Flacco's.
hit show-
So wait, hold on. If we're talking about the show is a hit, Flacco is playing into the fact that he's saying that based on what each party has said is that Charlamagne kept sending things to him, playing on the argumentative side of the show. The show was a hit objectively. That part doesn't.
Playing on the argumentative side of the show. What
Playing-
does that mean?
playing
he was
on-
sending things to him that played on the argument.
Yes, by saying keep quitting, that nigga don't respect you. That's pretty much what Flacco was laying out. How in different times of the show, he's playing in on the turmoil or the argumentative factor of the two hosts by saying, man, you should quit. That nigga don't respect you anyway.
Sees the chaos.
Is that bad advice?
No, it's not
Is
bad.
that bad advice coming from your mentor in media to where you have a show?
telling me to quit? Yes, especially if you know I have a hit show. You should be trying to getting us all together or talking to Joe about have a little bit more respect for him so that this shit so
I'm
he
not-
can
I'm not
feel
your
more
dad.
so he
I'm
can
not
feel
gonna
more respected.
Call your co-host and trying to get him to be nicer
Telling
to
a
you.
nigga just to quit is like, why would you tell me just to quit when I'm in the middle of a hit show?
That speaks to you more wanting it to end anyway, or you like
Right, 'cause why would you tell me to
That seeds the
quit?
chaos if you're talking that.
Why would you tell me to quit? Why would you tell me to quit if I'm your mentor and I'm in a hit show right now?
unless
Because
he
I
had
see my
further-
protege being disrespected and not taken serious.
But I'm in
and like I'll even give you a little bit of that. I'm not gonna harp on that point
But
because it's like I can see that.
Because
at the same time,
the disrespect.
he told him to quit a job that his co-host went on to quit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're talking about
That's hindsight, though. That's hindsight.
That's hindsight.
It happened.
No, but you can't use it. That's hindsight, bro.
It happened.
You're
We're
not
talking
about
about before the
That's what
quit,
wisdom
bro.
is.
I get what you're saying.
Wisdom
but
is hindsight in
I
the
get what you're
moment.
saying. The argument is just being set up a little bit wrong. Like,
Yeah, we're talking about before the quit.
Yeah.
Like the show when it was popping and when it was a threat.
Would
Like,
you
we're
want
not
to be the
talking-
last person to quit something that was
Bro, we're not talking. That has nothing to do with
And
how
let's be
threatening,
honest, let's be honest.
that show
Joe
was.
Budden
to
has a history, so it's like Charlamagne telling DJ Akademiks to quit is just Charlamagne, yes, being a leader of a company and being like, hey, like come join my team on some LeBron shit. Like, yo, like the Wizards not loving you over here, nigga. You come to the Lakers.
True.
But it's also him having the foresight of knowing Joe Budden, knowing his history. It's like
We could also say
And
that we
seeing
could
what
also
happened, was he wrong?
hindsight, though.
Yeah, hindsight. You
That's
can't.
Well,
You can't.
obviously, like
Because
if you're
the whole
saying
point-
if you're saying that somebody foresaw something happening and then it happened, what the fuck are we talking about?
Okay, but you also are playing into. I'm also playing my hand into it. I can say I think that show is over there gonna. I think they're gonna fail because they don't look like they're getting along, and I could just never speak to either of them and tell them to quit. It's different from me saying something from a distance or me texting the person like, "Man, quit. That nigga don't fuck with you anyway." Like, blase blah. It's different. Now I'm inserting myself into your job.
Yep.
That's completely.
Another point-
That's completely
another-
different. Hold on. That's completely different from
And-
sitting from the background and saying, man, I seen Joe fuck shit up all the time. It'll fuck up regardless. I don't need to influence him to do it or tell him to quit. And we can also say Charlamagne has a history of going to people's shows or speaking on people's shows and telling them to break up and telling them this shit ain't gonna work out because he did it on the Rory and Mo podcast too.
And he was wrong about that too,
He was wrong about what?
about the Rory and Maul situation.
He said they were going to split up.
Yeah, when he went there. So I'm just saying that plays into this side of it. That plays into this side of it, of like the manipulation or things of that nature. Or
Okay,
whatever.
okay.
That's all I'm saying.
And I understand what you're saying. I understand
that's
you're
all
just
I'm
giving
saying.
your case.
Yeah,
And it's just
yeah.
like,
I think both sides are plausible.
I think he
60-40.
instigated.
60-40, I think this is some bullshit.
Yeah,
And I think I don't want this to go unnoticed. I think he instigated the situation.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, it's
but there's a
instigation.
different between instigation and manipulation. Those are two different
instigating
things.
is manipulating, but
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
It
instigating.
is, but
I don't
it's
know.
different degrees.
Yeah, well,
different degrees.
to say it was premeditated, I'm with you on that. I don't think so. But to say that you had a hand in the destruction of something because of how you approached this said thing and inserted yourself, I think that's a fair thing to say. I don't think it may have been premeditated. I do think Flacco's video is a stretch going that far, but I do believe Charlamagne had a hand in the demise of the show in a small way.
Yeah, you saying what I said then.
Do y'all think that Charlamagne is like really cunning, or do you
Yeah,
think?
I do so. Yeah, for sure.
I talk to Charlamagne a lot. That's a cunning nigga, bro.
He's pretty
He's
cunning.
not an
Yeah.
idiot.
You think
he
he's
knows
more
what's
cunning
going
than
on.
Joe Budden?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I think he's.
I think Charlamagne is Charlamagne's intelligent.
It's harder to be.
Charlamagne is,
well,
and not only is he intelligent, he's cunning.
And-
Cunning is very
but
different from like.
it's in a
Charlamagne
weird-
is cunning, bro.
it's in
Because
a
you're
weird-
using your intelligence for you.
Charlamagne's cunning,
And
and that's a it could be positive or negative. Sorry, but it's a thing. Yeah.
It is. It's almost like a Barack type of cunning. It's kind of scary. You know what I mean?
'Cause I
it's
don't
like
know-
you smiling in our face, but you bombing to my niggas
I
over
don't,
there.
I
You
don't
know
know
what
what
I
you
mean?
could use it for.
I don't know what you're doing.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Which it's a good and a bad thing. It could be 100% the reason why you're as successful and great at interviewing and things of
is.
that nature, because you know how to play things 5 steps in advance, 10 steps in advance.
Yeah.
But it could also be used for good and evil. I can stop world hunger. I can fuck you over. You know what I'm saying? Like it can one or the other.
It is easier to be cunning when a lot of your dirt, hopefully, is still in the dark. Like a lot of Joe Budden's dirt is just out. So
Charlamagne's dirt is out too. People just don't remind them. It's just not like
And Joe's cunning.
it's not like headlines.
And Joe's cunning in the same way.
that might speak to Charlamagne's
Joe-
We
cunning
were
nature.
a part of one of Joe's plays potentially.
No. Joe is shorter term. Okay, if I had to rate their cunningness, Joe's short term cunning, Charlamagne's long term cunning.
it's like
But I think Joe's more petty. I think Joe's pettier, which
I don't know
would
about that.
just innately mean that he's being more cunning.
I don't know. I compare it to like Batman and Joker. Like they're both cunning in their own ways.
Yeah.
It just depends on like which one calls more for the
Bro,
situation.
the simple fact that AJ just said that Charlamagne's scandals are out there, but we don't really talk about it's not headlines, that alone speaks to his cunning nature. That alone. The fact that shit is out there, but like the way he moves about the shit that's out there would You know what I'm saying? Like, just how he moves in general.
Well, yeah, and to
about
be
his
fair,
allegations.
I just mean how he moves in
I get
general.
what you're saying,
I
but
agree.
yeah.
but I get that.
I'm just saying that's a small thing you can use to speak to it.
I get what you're saying too. And the only reason I would say like Joe Budden's on Twitter Space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talking to mere mortals and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Like Charlamagne's just not like popping up on a Twitter Space to chop it with niggas where they could be like, nigga, what's up with just read? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not happening. But Joe is in spaces where the random bystander will hit him with that drive-by.
Have a
You know what I'm
discussion
saying?
about me.
And that has value, but
What's going on here?
It helps insulate. It helps insulate.
Correct.
Whether you're like purposely trying to insulate
like
it or
what
anything.
Joe is doing is perfect for what he has built and what his brand is.
it
You know what
works-
I'm saying?
it
So
works
it
for
works
him,
for
though.
him
Yeah,
and what he
right,
has.
right.
Like he's
Yeah.
only cultivating his Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Those people are paying to for him. So he's cunning on his business side, like for him. But Charlamagne is cunning in the world of war and in the world of just like,
So is Joe.
yeah, but I mean like, I don't
So
know.
is Joe.
Joe's
Lauren,
Yeah, I
you
agree.
were a pawn in one of his schemes.
Yes, I know
That was a
that.
short-term scheme.
Yes. But
Short-term
exactly what I'm
scheme,
talking
long-term
about.
scheme. It's a scheme. That's what I'm
It's
talking
true.
about.
But
It doesn't matter how long.
All I'm
it
saying is like when we were just like rating who's more cunning.
Oh, okay.
They have two different specialties. I think
There you go.
Joe Budden I think Joe Budden 6 months, 1 year.
It's in your face. You see it, so that we accept it.
Charlamagne's a 5-year, 10-year nigga. He is, bro. He is like he's a 5-10 year. That's a planning ass nigga. Let's not don't sleep on this nigga. You know what I'm saying?
If you're that smart,
but I respect it though. You know what I'm saying? But it's like
so if you're that smart and you have that much foresight, why would you risk your whole career? Why do you feel so threatened by a show that just got lit in a couple of months? If you got that much foresight, you know that shit takes more time than that to truly be classic.
right.
You know how many years a show has to be hot to be able to rival the Breakfast Club?
You know when it's
you can be
easy-
the hot shit right now, but you can't be a grandmaster and then still get caught up on these short-term schemes like that.
You know when it's
We're
easy-
saying two different things.
You know when it's easier to put a fire out
And it's
when it
it's
first
hot.
first starts.
Yeah.
Compared to when it's
Yeah.
caught the next 3 houses on fire. Now we have an issue. We got to block off the road. But it's easier for me if one house is on fire right now. Let's just take care of this one house before these niggas set the block on fire.
That's a fact.
So
It's a good analogy.
That's
but
why.
Yeah, this is the perfect clip for Charlamagne to
You like
watch.
that, don't you?
I mean, because
That's that old
I
head
hate
analogy.
fighting, nigga.
You stuck him, nigga.
Yeah,
shit.
You got it.
He didn't stick a motherfucking thing.
Do you? I just saw that. You just
His
got
feet,
it.
you see how slow his feet was? He almost
Yeah,
became his old self.
But yeah, man, they can both go both ways. But yeah, these some cunning niggas, man.
I
Both-
just
they're
find it
both
funny
cunning.
that we keep, like, we won't ever say this about Joe.
What do you mean?
We won't ever
So what?
really sit down and talk about, like, yo, this nigga's a manipulative motherfucker.
No, we have. What do you mean?
I'm gonna tell you why. I think we haven't done that. I think because
We was getting manipulated.
no, I think there's 2 reasons. One, us three in particular don't watch Joe Budden every week or every year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Goddamn.
like no three, like us
Said every year.
Well, no, like us three. Like Lauren is the most he's the most avid watcher, right?
He's the most gaslit.
So like Lauren can speak to what he thinks Joe Budden's character is better than any of us put together. Because we just go off of moments, situations that we've seen. If shit's on a clip, I mean, we've watched plenty of Joe Budden podcasts, right?
Yeah.
we
But we're
watched
talk- but
years
we're
of
t-
Joe Budden content.
But we're talking about like, but there's people, even when you go to like a Danny Twitter space, these niggas are like 5-10 years every week. They haven't missed a week. You know what I
And
mean?
you
Like,
can hear. It's kind of scary.
you
Like,
can hear
I'm
it.
like,
You can just like why, but we have that with Charlamagne. You see what I'm saying? So we're able to like
maybe.
possibly, yeah. But it's like I would just say, long story short, in terms of who we watch weekly, monthly, yearly, more consistently, and what we can think we can speak to that person's character is leaning more towards on Charlamagne's side. We can still go on the Joe side. What also helps us not have these long drawn out conversations with Joe is that we know this nigga's crazy. We know that, right?
Yeah.
He admits it. He jokes about it. And so it's like,
It's in our face.
even when he knows he's wrong, even when we know he's wrong, he knows he's wrong. We know what angle he's gonna take. He's not gonna admit to it. It's gonna be the rigmarole. You know
He's
what I'm
gonna
saying?
spin the
And to your
round.
analogy-
Right. But Charlamagne won't even in the last like couple years he doesn't even directly play into people. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't directly respond. He throws sub disses. He does little things. He doesn't directly connect himself to any direct response to one individual anymore, right? So even in his movement and his new way of thinking, it always leaves plausible deniability, cunning points again. You know what I'm saying? Like Charlamagne never moves with definitiveness in terms of responding to people, movements and actions and things of that nature, unless they're 100% positive.
Unless he feels threatened by the show.
We're not talking about that. I'm just, the fuck? I'm just saying. Just
It's a joke, but it wasn't for you to laugh, it's for them to laugh.
But just you get what I'm saying, though. Just like he moves so that he can never be, right? Even when I'm talking to this nigga in conversation, he's not pinning himself down, bro. He's not, he's always, this is when I know, just like if me and him are just like debating or talking or whatever, this is when I know it's like, okay, he says, I don't know what you want me to tell you. That's when I say, nothing, that's it. That's how certain our back and forths end normally. And I'm like, okay, because you won't admit, we're not gonna get to that point, even though I laid out 4 points, just not clear, black and white. It's all good though. It's just, we'll never, you heard it. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Fuck it. I do that too with people. Sometimes I just be like, when I get to that point, look, I don't even remember that shit. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, he won't even in that conversation pin himself down. So it's easier to do these speculations when a nigga doesn't.
Because one nigga makes it obvious and the other one might not be doing none at all. And that's room for doubt.
Exactly. You're always leaving room for doubt. Yes. Yeah. That's why.
Room for doubt is doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is, I mean, I understand your point.
I didn't realize it was gonna go that long.
Yeah, nah.
Nigga, you knew it was gonna go this long.
No, I really didn't. I did.
Yeah, y'all niggas, hey man, y'all love y'all some Charlamagne.
Nah, he
love
just like
y'all some
we're
Charlamagne.
literally just always gonna be on like if it's a Charlamagne topic, he's gonna think it's something. I'm gonna think it's something else. Usually,
I'm never gonna take the evil part off the table. That's my thing. Like, I'm never gonna take. This could have been manipulative for sure. I'm not taking that off the table at all because I don't care how many assists are thrown and how many positive stories. Nobody's that perfect. Period. You know what I'm saying? And even in the way that you communicate, if you can't even be like it's all flexible and shit. It's like, hey, look, man, I don't know what's going on over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could be doing it or he couldn't be. But the fact that I can't even get a decent read on that shit, I just got to believe both sides. It's just what it is.
Charlamagne hard to read.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this.